Hi, welcome to A Week in Walford, the EastEnders review show presented by two people whose sealed bids will not be tampered with. I'm David Brown.
And I'm Sarah Doran.
This week's headlines: Jane left in limbo,
Carters versus Wayland's,
and two big cast signings. Okay, well, we got one final scene from Jane Beale this week, Laurie Brett having now left the cast. I thought it was a kind of muddled exit for Jane. What did you think?
I mean, I wasn't quite sure. I was like, has she gone in the car? Is she coming back? What's happening? And it was that voicemail left for Stacey, of course, which we don't know if Stacey will ever get. It was
the phone's been robbed.
Yeah, it's like, Jane, are you gone? Or are you going to come back? I mean, what's going to happen?
Well, she has gone. I mean, Laurie Brett has announced that she isn't coming back, but you kind of wonder really, you know, what kind of exit this could have turned out to have been. I mean, she's off screen now. Could she have died in that fire? It wouldn't really have kind of made that much difference to the plot line if she'd perished.
I kind of feel like, could she have maybe had something a little bit more dramatic? I just feel like Jane, you know, Jane's been like hit over the head. You know, she's gone through muddy fights in the rain.
Shot.
She's been shot. I mean, really? That's it?
Yeah, but I mean, I suppose I'm glad in a way that she wasn't killed off, because after the deaths of Ronnie and Roxy at Christmas, I wouldn't have liked to have seen two more matriarchs bite the bullet. And because she was kind of responsible for covering up the death of Lucy Beale, the soap gods do kind of, you know,
she
decree
had to have
that
karma, didn't she?
She had to have
in
karma,
some form.
Live life in perpetual misery. So will she be back one day? I really hope so. I really hope she's back.
Great.
And of course, you know, she was gotten rid of because of the machinations of Max, who was involved in this week's plot lines, of course, with the big boardroom battle with the Wayland Corporation, Poundland Apprentice, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, you're fired.
Yeah, it felt like if The Apprentice moved to Channel 5, then they'd have Wilmot Brown at the centre with Fee and Luke on the other side.
Or even and then Hugo perhaps popping in and out from time to time, like the Nick Hewer of the Wayland Corporation.
He's very urbane, isn't he, Uncle Hugo? But he's not beneath kind of having a dirty bacon sandwich from the Greasy Spoon.
The delightful Greasy Spoon.
Yeah, I love the way that all the middle class characters on EastEnders, they're all, especially this Wilmot Brown brigade, they're all so irredeemable, aren't they?
Like, it's always a ne'er-do-well, you know. I mean, everybody else on Albert Square is down to earth, you know, sod of the earth kind of people. But if you've got a little bit of cash,
then you're immediately suspicious. And they have all these terms for people, don't they? Like the grease monkey for Ben all the time. You know, it's so like, you know, I can't ever see them having any kind of redeeming features whatsoever. No. Fee Browning, of course, got the sealed bids from Carmel.
I'm trying to figure out when she got them.
How she got them?
How? I mean, she was a bit busy. I'm not most of the time in Carmel's house.
Well, my work laptop has got a password on it, and I only write about soaps. I don't know how Carmel's was so easily accessible.
Carmel needs to go and talk to IT and maybe have a few lessons in web security.
She really does. Poor old Carmel. I don't half feel sorry for her. I'm not feeling sorry for Max though yet.
No, Max has kind of become. I remember when I first came across Max years ago when he was having the fling with Stacey and Bradley, and you know, he was a very different sort of bloke back then.
He wasn't having a fling with Bradley.
Well, not Bradley. Well, with Stacey while she was married to Bradley. There was no incest in that family.
No, really.
But you know, he was a different sort of bloke back then. The kind of bloke you'd see in the "my husband slept with my sister's brother's father," and now he's quite the like Darth Vader. He's Darth Vader,
and Wilmot Brown is the Emperor, and Luke and Fee are the kind of bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Fee Browning is Boba Fett.
And I like to think of Mick as basically the Han Solo of this story.
Yeah, he's the hip gunslinger.
And Linda, of course, we've seen her do a Charleston on Strictly as Leia. She's Leia in real life.
So I reckon that there might be some kind of Star Wars comeuppance there. Max, will he be able to go back to the, you know, away from the dark side and back to the light? I hope so.
I mean, that's a family story as well.
Yes. Well, we'll see what we're gearing up for there. And of course, we're also gearing up for two big cast signings on the show.
I'm very excited about these.
Which one are you most excited about? We should explain. We've got Tamsin Outhwaite returning as Mel, and we've got Hannah Spirit from S Club 7 as Candice Taylor.
Ain't no party like an S Club party.
I know. Is that
I've done that backwards. Can I do the S this side?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you would think I'd be most excited for Hannah because I kind of grew up with S Club, but it's actually Mel, because my first experiences of EastEnders were the days of Mel, of Steve Owen, when Mel was married to Ian.
Yeah, exactly. Wife number 2.
Wife number 2's back.
I know, as wife number whatever she was, Jane, exits, we get the second one back. But I'm wondering who she's going to bring with her because, you know, when she left, she was pregnant with Steve Owen's baby. Could we get a hunky new cast member joining along with her?
Could he, like many characters we've come across, already be back and in plain sight and we haven't realised who he is?
Oh, that's interesting. So that perhaps, you know, we find out later on that Keanu is really Mel's son.
Mel and Steve.
Yeah, and Hannah Spirit is going to be Karen Taylor's sister. It seems like she's the kind of moneyed side of the family.
Some nice shots of her looking quite flush outside the house, but I mean, I wonder, is she putting it all on? Or is she really quite flush?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Has she wormed her way into somebody's house? Has she got a sugar daddy? I don't want to suggest that, but you never know.
I'm warming to the Taylors a little bit, actually. I mean, when they came in, they were so abrasive. But I'm finding I'm liking Karen a lot more these days. Keanu I've always liked, but Karen, I think that is a good performance there from Lorraine Stanley. And perhaps we'll see a whole new different side of her when Candice comes onto the scene. Anyway, join us next week for another week in Walford, and we can see where the drama has taken us then.